Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Am I audible to everyone?
Oh, yes.
Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. So this is our very first demo for the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform. So in this demo, we are going to talk about few things. The agenda for today's session is that I'm going to talk about what is data engineering first. Right? Our course is about data engineering with the Google Cloud platform. So first, let us talk about what is data engineering and what is the role of a data engineer and what the data engineer do on a daily basis. Let us try to understand. And after that, I will talk about what is Google Cloud platform. Right? So we must understand what is Google Cloud platform and what are the benefits of using the Google Cloud platform. We will try to see. And then we will talk about the detailed course curriculum. So what is the course curriculum and what are the topics that we are going to cover in the entire session for the next 2.5 months? Let us try to understand in the third topic. And the fourth, we are going to see about the course details such as the timings, the notes, how we are going to provide you the material and the recordings. All of these details we are going to see one by one. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. First, we are going to start with what is data engineering. After that, I am going to talk about the Google Cloud Platform overview and then detailed course curriculum and the course details. Okay, so before we jump onto that, some of the people may be having the questions like, sir, how would I get a job with this course? Right? Some people may be having, sir, what is my, I have a current experience. What about my current experience? How do we manage that? And some people may be having a question like, sir, I don't know cloud at all. Will I be able to learn it or not? How can I learn it? And some people may be having a question, sir, will I be able to get a job from this course or not? So there can be a plenty of the questions people will be having it. One of the question can be, does it make sense to my profile to do? So all of these questions people will be having. So by the end of this session, I'm going to answer each and everything, and I'll also speak with you guys if anyone have any questions, so that I'll try to answer each and every question that I have mentioned here. If any of the questions that you have also, I'll try to speak with you. Okay, in this session. So this session is more of an interactive session. What I'm going to do first, I'll talk about what is data engineering, what is Google Cloud Platform, the course curriculum. Once we have completed that, so I'll try to answer all of these questions, and after that, I'll also give you time so that if you have any questions, you can also talk. Okay, so that is what we're going to see by the end of this session. Okay, so please be patient throughout the session, guys. So I would like to give you the definition for what is data engineering in a simple words, what is Google Cloud Platform in a simple words, so that I want everyone to be knowing that, okay, this is what is Google Cloud Platform. By the end of the session, you should be having an idea that this is what is Google Cloud Platform and this is what is data engineering. This is what the data engineer do. Okay, once you have it, you can decide for yourself that is this course is helping you to achieve a dream job or not. That we are going to discuss by the end of the session. I hope this is making sense now. So before me starting the session, I would like to tell you about myself. My name is Shaik Saidhul, everyone. I have currently I'm working as a solution architect at Contech. I'm also a DPP contractor at Databricks. I'm a consultant at Databricks as well. Okay, so I'm currently working as a full-time solution architect at Contech. I'm a DPP contractor at Databricks as well, and I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, NIT Trichy, and I have total more than 8 years of experience into the data and AI field. So from the last 2 years, I've been teaching. I used to teach Azure. From last 1.5 year, I've been teaching the GCP data engineering guys. I was teaching the Azure also. I teach GCP DevOps as well. So these are the multiple things that I usually teach. When it comes to the certifications, I have done many certifications in the GCP. I have 2 certifications in the Azure, 2 certifications in the Databricks. I have certifications for Terraform and many other also. So this is all about me, guys. So remember me as a Shaik Saidhul. So this is what is all about me. So now let us see what is data engineering. Okay. So please allow me. Today I'm not totally feeling well. Uh, Maybe I have little cold. So that's the reason my voice may be scattering here and there. But allow me for that. Let us see what is data engineering. I would like to talk about what is data engineering. Where is this actually the data is coming from? First thing, where is the data is coming from? If you ask me where is the data is coming from, let me try to give you a live example that we do every day. So the moment we wake up in the morning, we try to open a phone or a laptop and we try to order a breakfast, right? So you open Swiggy application or a Zomato application, we try to order some breakfast. The moment you are doing some kind of a transaction over the application, that's where the data is getting generated. The moment you try to interact with an application, that's where the data is getting generated. Okay, so either it is Swiggy, Zomato, or if you wanted to move, or if you wanted to travel from one location to another location, you may be going for Ola or Uber. Again, one more application. So the moment we try to interact with an application, there gets a data generated. There gets a data generated from these applications. Similarly, if you go to some production firms or a manufacturing firms, they actually store the data in the form of a file formats. Either it could be a CSV file or a Excel file or some other file formats. So that means you have the data in the file formats as well. Either it could be a text file, CSV file, or a Excel files. And you will also have a data that is coming from some database. Some company might be storing their entire data in the database. So that means you have a data that is coming from one of the databases also, right? And sometimes you may be having the data that is coming from some IoT devices, such as the sensor devices, which is common nowadays. For example, if you are buying a car nowadays, everything is censored, almost everything, right? There are motion sensors are there, proximity sensors are there. So there are plenty of the sensor devices are there which generates the data in a very huge amount of a data in a very less time. So that's where the data getting generated. So you have the data that is coming from multiple data sources. These are all, I usually call it as a data sources. So you have the data coming from multiple data sources, sir. Now we have the data. Sir, I have the data coming from multiple data sources. What is it with, sir? I have the data with me. So what happened with this data? Why this data is required? Can we delete it or can we just destroy it? So this is a history data, right? If one person might have ordered one of the product from e-commerce platforms, it is done. We don't need that data. Sir, can we remove it? Can you guys tell me? Sir, this is all more of a historical data. Can we remove it or not? Can you guys tell me? Sir, it is already, the data is already completed. We don't need this data. So this data is about, for example, if I have ordered one of the product from e-commerce platform, I have ordered it, it was delivered, done. I don't need that particular record of the data. Can we delete it? Tell me, can we delete it?
No, we cannot delete it. Means we can further use it for analysis purpose.
Correct. So we cannot actually delete it. Why? The business is saying that you can't delete it. This data is money. The business says is that, so this data is nothing but a money. How it is money? Let us try to understand. In current world, how much amount of a data if you have, that much amount of a money you can able to generate. That's what the companies thinks. That's what the business is thinking nowadays. Sir, how? For example, if you have a huge amount of a data about your business. So for example, if I'm running a business related to the e-commerce, so this is all the data that is generated from the e-commerce applications only. And I have a huge amount of e-commerce data. So what I will do, what business says is that you understand the data. You understand this data. If you try to understand this data, this will give you some kind of a insights. If you try to understand the data or analyze the data, this will give you some kind of insights. And these insights are very useful for the business improvement. Very useful for the business improvement. So that means whatever the data that is coming from the multiple data sources, when we try to analyze this data, this analysis will give you some kind of insights. These insights are very useful for the business improvement. Right? What is mean by business improvement, sir? Increasing the customer sales, maybe increasing the customer sales, or maybe attracting the more customers, or maybe improving the customer satisfaction. So all of these things actually coming from this particular data only. So when you have a data, you can able to understand that how your business is doing. And when you know how your business is doing, based on that, you can able to use it for the business improvement activities. Such kind of a things nowadays you are doing. Amazon live sales or Flipkart big billion days. So these kind of a things are actually coming from the this analysis only, these insights only. When they try to understand their data, they got to know that in the September or October period, that sales will be very less. If I wanted to attract the more customers, so sales will be very less in the September and October. How did they get to know it? It's because of that they try to understand about their data. So they got to know that in the sales in the September and October and November period, it is very less. So they wanted to attract more customers during that. To do that, they put a one of the option called big billion days, so that they try to attract more customers by saying that this is a huge amount of a discount that we are providing. So when you try to understand the data, such a kind of a business improvement activities comes into the picture, right? So what is data engineering, sir? So data engineering is nothing but you have a data that is coming from the multiple data sources. You have a data that is coming from the multiple data sources. Okay. So we will try to see it in a professional manner for the data engineering now. So now you have a data that is coming from multiple data sources. You try to extract the data and you put the data into the lakes. So this is where you store the entire data. Okay, you extract the data from these multiple data sources and store the data into the one of the storage system called data lake. Data lakes is nothing but a one of the raw repository, or one of the scalable system where you can able to store any amount of data in a raw format itself, right? So data sources, from the data sources we are going to extract the data from these multiple data sources, and we are going to first store this data. If I wanted to analyze the data, if I wanted to get some kind of insights, how can I do it? I need to have the data in a single location, because my application may be running in some server, some location. The files are maybe coming from some other application or some other server. This database is running in some other location. This IoT devices are there in some other format or some other location. So whatever the data that is there in multiple locations, multiple servers, you first extract the data from those multiple locations and servers. You put it into a one single location called a data lake, and you store it in a raw format itself, that is called as a data lake. So once you have the data in a single location, so whatever the data that I have, it can I directly analyze it? Can you guys tell me, sir, whatever the data that I have in the data lake, can I directly use it for the analysis purpose? Tell me. Can we directly use it for the analysis?
No.
No, we
Right.
cannot use
Correct. So some
because
people
it's
are trying
coming
to.
from different sources.
Correct. Some people are giving me the answer, sir, this is a raw data. How do you directly analyze it? Sir, when I am buying a food for me, if I'm buying a chawal or rice or whatever it is, right? So I can't just eat it. I go to the supermarket, I buy a pack of rice or a chawal, whatever you think, right? I can't just eat it, right? I have to process it because it is not in the way that directly we can able to use it. So in the same fashion, whatever the data that is there in the data lake, it is a raw format. It is not usable for analysis purpose because this data may be in the raw format. This data may be having some kind of a duplicates. This data may be having some kind of a nulls. This data may be having some kind of a unnecessary data, and it is not in a correct format. So there can be a plenty of the problems, right? The moment we buy the rice from the supermarket, and we cannot be able to eat it, we have to process it. We have, when we say processing, removing the stones out of it, or maybe soak it, or whatever the actions that we are doing it, right? The similar fashion, the moment you have the data in the data lake, you can't directly go for the analysis. What we have to do, guys, we have to take care of the duplicates. We have to handle the null values. We have to remove the unnecessary data. We have to worry about the correct for we have to make it to the correct format. So all of these things are there. So that's the reason, before we doing the analysis, we try to do the data processing. We try to do the data processing. So you have the entire data from the data lake, you take it and you're going to do the data processing. So when I say data processing, you handle the null values, you remove the duplicates, you may remove the unnecessary data, and you try to make it to the correct format. And we are trying to add some kind of a value to the data so that that data will be useful for the analysis purpose. That is what we are doing it in the data processing. So data processing is more of a data preparation, is more of a making data readily for the analysis purpose, is ready for the analysis purpose. That is what we are doing it here. So it's nothing but a data value addition process. Okay, here we are going to take care of many actions. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to see many things, such as removing duplicates, handling null values. To give you some idea, these are the things that we are going to do it. Now, once we have the data that is properly cleaned, which is used for the analysis, that's where we send this data to the warehouses. That's where we send this data to the warehouses for the analysis purpose. So you have the data source, you are storing it here, you are processing it here, and you are going to analyze the data here. Okay, so this is where we are going to analyze the data, guys. In the data warehouses, we are going to analyze the data with a simple language called SQL. Once we do the analysis, we send this data to the downstream such as BI for creating the dashboards or reports, and we have a ML for creating a ML models or something. And for there can be a data scientist who is utilizing this data for finding the future trends. There can be a business groups who is taking care of, who is taking this data directly, use it for the business decision making purpose. Okay, so this entire thing, this is how your downstream. So this is your downstream. Okay, so you're going to extract the data from these multiple data sources. You store the data into the data lake. You process the data with a multiple data processing tools. You have a multiple data processing tools. People say data proc, data bricks, people say data flow, multiple data processing tools are there. in the market. And we can analyze the data in the data warehouses. One of the data warehouses, BigQuery, Redshift, Synapse. These are all data warehouses only. And once we do the data analysis, those tables data, those data will be used by the BI for creating the dashboards or reports or ML models or a data scientist or a business groups. So this is how. Not only this one, throughout this platform, throughout this entire process, we need to take care of the data governance and monitoring, making sure that your data is accurate throughout the platform. Because you need to, whatever the data that you are reading it, whatever the data that you are extracting it from the data sources, the same amount of data you may have to send it to the destinations, okay, without any data loss. So you have to send the data, your data, whatever the data that you are sending it to the downstream, it should be complete and accurate. Then only they will be able to use it for the proper analysis purpose or proper decision making purpose. So that's the reason we have a one more activity, that is data governance is also taken care by the data engineers only, making sure that your data is complete as well as accurate throughout the platform. And we also ensure that monitoring these pipelines as well. Okay, so this is what is data engineering, everyone. Data engineering is nothing but extracting the data from the multiple data sources and storing the data in a scalable system, processing the data with the multiple processing tools, analyzing the data with a simple language, as well as sending the data to the downstream, and taking care of the data governance in terms of the sensitive data handling, or data completeness, data accuracy. So this is what is data engineering. And in a definition, if you wanted to see, so data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data so that it can be used for the analysis purpose. The same thing. It involves designing and building the systems and infrastructure that allow data to be captured, stored, processed, and analyzed. That's what I have told you, right? So the same thing is that you need to create a system of data lake, data warehouse, data processing. So all of this infrastructure and all of these entire systems, you need to make it, and making sure that these are all running in an automated fashion, because we don't want it to do it manually, because so it's not a small amount of data that we are dealing with. It's a huge amount of data that we are dealing with. We want all of these things to be running in an automated fashion, right? So this is how, this is what is data engineering. Okay, I hope it is making sense now, and we will see if anyone have any questions. I'll give you time. And what is the role of a data engineer? That's whatever we have seen so far is nothing but a role of a data engineering, everyone. Right? That is data ingestion. So first you need to think about data ingestion. What is data ingestion, sir? You have the data in some other format, some other location, some other server. You need to ingest the data into where you are storing your data, right? You need to think about how do you ingest it, how best way to you go into ingest it, what are the different mechanisms available, and then you find a data storage and management solution. So you need to take care of the data storage and management, where you have to store it, how do you find a scalable system, access control options, many things we are going to see in our upcoming sessions. How do we take care of the data storage and management? And then data processing, right? There are multiple tools are there to data processing, such as Spark, Hadoop, Databricks, Dataproc. Plenty of the tools are there. And we can also take care of the data quality and governance. As I told you guys, quality of the data is very much important for the end users. Otherwise there can be a problem that whatever the insights that you are going to get, that could be inaccurate. If the quality is not good, the results are going to be not promising. Okay, so that is something. Data pipelines, as I told you guys, All of these things should be automated by creating the data pipelines. So one data engineer should create a data pipelines, either it is a batch pipelines, it could be a streaming pipelines. Okay, so that is what we should do. And performance optimization is one of the major important topic for the data engineers, that every code that you are creating, every pipeline that you are creating, every SQL query that you're creating should be running in an optimized fashion, should be running in a optimized fashion. So in our upcoming sessions, we are going to see how do we optimize the performance, how do we optimize the data storage, data processing, all of those details we are going to see. And the final thing, monitoring and maintenance. All your pipelines, you have to monitor it properly and maintain it properly. Otherwise, so one of the version issues may come into the picture, or the upgrades, you have to take care of it. Okay, so all of these things, so this is what is the role of a data engineer, guys. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to work on all of these sessions. In next 2.5 months, we are going to learn about each and every activity with the multiple tools, with multiple technologies, with multiple things. So that's where you're going to get a very good understanding of all of these topics. So this is what is data engineering, data ingestion, data storage and management, data processing, data quality and governance, data pipelines, performance optimization, monitoring and maintenance. So this is all about that. Okay, so this is all about data engineering, everyone. So the next topic I would like to talk about the Google Cloud Platform. Before that, if anyone having any questions related to the data engineering, please put your questions in the chat, guys. I'll talk about the course content in next 10 minutes. I'll talk about the course content in the next 10 minutes, everyone. Just allow me to explain you what is Google Cloud Platform, and then we will go for what is what is Google Cloud Platform. Once we know what is Google Cloud Platform, I would like to talk about what are the services that we are going to cover, right? So first, let me gonna tell you about Google Cloud Platform. Very simple. Google Cloud Platform is very simple. So, tell me, what are the cloud platforms that you already know? What are the cloud platforms that you already know? Correct. So there is AWS, there is Azure. So one more is GCP, right? Okay. So tell me, guys, what are these? Can you guys tell me what are these? Correct. They are the cloud providers. So they are the cloud providers. The cloud providers provides you what? Cloud providers provides you the correct. So they provide us the cloud computing services. Why these services are important to us? The question is, sir, we have a AWS, Azure, and GCP in the market. They are the leading cloud providers. You have a other cloud platforms also, but these are the leading cloud providers. They provide you the cloud computing services. Okay, so these services are very useful for the organizations or any project. For example, when you are working in a company. For example, when you are working in a company, okay, you will be allocated to one of the project. In the project, okay, there can be a situation where you wanted to store the data, process the data, or analyze the data. So this is what is your project requirement. Sir, I have a project requirement in my company that I may have to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, or visualize the data. So to do all of these things, we are looking for a multiple services. Okay, so again, it may be some application project. So some people wanted to create the application, build the application, deploy the application, and scale the application. For all of these activities, they are looking for a cloud computing services again. Similarly, there can be a machine learning, ML model creation, ML model registering, ML model building, ML model deploying, ML model scaling. Okay, so all of these things. Or there can be a networking components such as VPC, subnets, okay, and load balancers, firewalls. Okay, so all of these networking, many things. So for every project, if it is a data project, you need to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, or visualize the data. Or if this project is about building the application, creating the application, deploying the application, or scaling the application, or ML model creation, registering, building, deploying, and scaling, VPC, subnet, load balancer, firewalls. So for every project, there will be having their own project requirement. If one wanted to fulfill their project requirement, they need a multiple services. So those services are nowadays provided by the cloud computing services. So those providers are Google Cloud Platform, Azure, or AWS. So why these cloud computing services useful for us? So cloud computing services are very useful because instead of we creating and managing the entire infrastructure on ours, we can just focus on these cloud computing services so that we can get benefit. Instead of we focusing on the infrastructure, instead of we creating the infrastructure, we can directly go to these cloud computing services which are ready made available, so it is like this one. For example, why the cloud? So for example, assume that you wanted to, okay, so yeah, for example, assume that you wanted to cook a food, or you wanted to prepare the food. Okay, so if one wanted to prepare the food, there are two ways. Sir, if you wanted to eat the food, there are two ways. The food has to be ready first thing. So if you are going for a natural method, that is, you are going to buy the all the raw material for the food, such as the rice or the vegetables, all of these things you are going to buy it, right? And then you're going to buy the utensils, and then you are going to buy the stove, you're going to buy the all the things that are required. Then you have to prepare the food, and then the food is ready. So before, if you wanted to have the food, sir, my main requirement is that I need to have the food. I wanted to consume the food. If you wanted to consume the food, one of the first method is that you have to prepare your food on your own. When you are preparing your food on your own, you need to have a lot of things. You need to go to the supermarket and buy everything, all the raw material, and buy all the utensils, buy all the stuff and everything. Okay, you have to prepare the food by cook it. That means you have to cook it. Then only your food will be ready so that you can able to consume it. Can you guys tell me any other way that we can have the food directly?
Zomato.
Correct. From a restaurant we can able to order it. So that means the simple method is this one, that you can have your food ready by just ordering it or by just visiting the restaurant. Okay, so either which ways, if you wanted to go it, it's your choice, your company's choice. So this is called as a traditional method. This is called as a traditional method, and this is called as a cloud method. So if one wanted to work, or if one wanted to store any type of a data, they can able to have to purchase all the machines and store the data, install the operating system, install the networking components, install everything. Then only they can able to store the data. Similarly, if one wanted to have the food, they have to do all of these. But taking care of all of these things will take a lot of time, lot of money, lot of effort. So it is a lot of time, lot of money, lot of effort. Okay, so but here within a few minutes you will be able to get it. You don't need to know everything. You just within a few minutes everything is ready for you. You can just order it. and whatever the amount that you are ordering, how much amount of the food that you are having, you can able to just have it, and you can pay for that amount of food only. Okay, pay per use. So that's how it works. Similar fashion, most of the companies, they don't want it to rely on the traditional methods. They don't want it to work on the traditional services. You have a plenty of traditional services also for storing, processing, and analyzing, but traditional methods take a lot of time, lot of money, lot of effort. So that's the reason most of the companies started using the cloud computing services, which are provided by the cloud providers, okay, for storing their data, processing the data, analyzing the data, and visualizing the data. One of such a cloud platform is Google Cloud Platform, everyone. One of such cloud platform is Google Cloud Platform. So Google Cloud Platform provides you the cloud computing services. So GCP is one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services, and these services are very useful for the organizations to build their application, deploy their application, scale their application, store the data, process the data, or analyze the data. Whatever the activity, these services are very useful for project requirement fulfilling purpose. Okay, so that is what I have mentioned here. The same thing. One of such cloud platform is a Google Cloud Platform. So Google Cloud Platform is a suite of cloud computing services provided by the Google that offers wide range of products and solutions to help organizations build, deploy, scale applications and services in the cloud. As I just told you, these services are very useful for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, and scale the applications and services in the cloud. And so Google Cloud Platform provides you the services highly reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure that enables businesses to leverage the power of Google's extensive global network and data centers. That means these services are reliable and secure, and these services are scalable also. And Google is providing you the data centers throughout the world. Even in India also, we have two locations where the data centers are available for the Google Cloud Platform. In Delhi and in Mumbai, we have a data centers for the Google Cloud Platform. So in these two regions, Google Cloud Platform has its own entire infrastructure available for the data center. In Delhi, we have a data center for GCP. In Mumbai also, we have the data center. And these services are reliable, secure, and scalable infrastructure. So this is all about Google Cloud Platform, guys. Simple that this is one of the leading cloud provider, provides you the cloud computing services, and these services are very useful for the organizations to fulfill their requirements. Either it is for building the data, for building the application or deploying the application, or it is for storing the data, processing the data, or analyzing the data, or any other project that you have it. They are going to provide you the cloud computing services. Sir, can you tell me what are those services high level? If you ask me, these are the services that the GCP is providing you guys. It provides you the computing services. It provides you the identity and security services, management tools, networking services, big data services, storage and database services, machine learning services. So plenty of the services, total 4,000 products and services are there in the GCP. Some of the services are categorized here to let you know that this is how different varieties of different category of services it is providing you. Compute services like compute engine, app engine, container registry, plenty of the things. Big data, BigQuery, data flow, data proc, data lab, data PubSub, and everything. So Google Cloud Platform providing you the plenty of the services. And these services, we are going to focus on big data and storage and database services, because we are a data engineer. We wanted to become a data engineer. We are going to focus on big data services and storage and database services. So that is how. And why we learn the GCP? If you ask me, sir, Google Cloud Platform has a very good community support. Google having a very good community support. We've been using the Google products from the last decade, and we now know that Google is one of the trustworthy. And the best thing about the GCP is that it provides you the cost-effective services. This is one of the major reason that most of the companies are started using the Google Cloud Platform. You have a plenty of the opportunities for the GCP. I'm telling you guys. Even some of the data projects from the AWS to the GCP, they are migrating. I have seen it. Okay, for AWS to the GCP, they are migrating it. So that's how Google is going to be the one of the next leading cloud provider, and it is going to be providing you the best services for the data engineering. When it comes to the data world, when it comes to the data engineering and big data, Google Cloud Platform is very famous out of all these things. It is, and best thing is that it is going to provide you the cost effective services. So that's the reason most of the companies started using the Google Cloud Platform only for the data projects. And these services are flexible, and services are scalable, reliable, secure, and it is providing you the fully managed services. The interface is very simple. Okay, so you're going to get a very good features, and you're going to get all of these features with a very cost effective manner. So that's the reason most of the companies started using the GCP. That's where you have a plenty of the opportunities. When I started teaching the GCP at like of almost 1.5 year, it's been 1.5 year I've been starting the GCP data engineer. At that point of time, no one knows about the GCP. At this point of time itself, some people does not know about the GCP. But if you go to the market in the companies, people are looking for a GCP data engineers like anything. A skilled GCP data engineers are very much important for in the current era. Plenty of the opportunities. In the last month, one of the guy got 6 offer letters. 6 offer letters. All the way from the 11 LPA, he was now getting 32 or 33. I don't remember exactly. Okay, 6 offer letters. How it is possible? It is only possible. It is because two things. You should be getting the calls. If you don't get the calls, you don't get offer letters. If there is no demand for the GCP data engineer, you don't get the calls. If you don't get the calls, you don't get the offers. The thing is that that guy almost sat for 22 to 23 interviews. He told me, sir, I sat for almost 20 to 23 interviews. I am able to achieve 6+ offer letters. Some of the companies I have completed first round, second round also, and still I did not get any response after that. I'm able to crack first round and second round also. Some of the companies have a third round also, sir. By the time I got the 6 offer letters, I'm able to join the other company. Okay, so that's how. See, in a 1 month span of time, he sat for 22 to 23 interviews. That means he almost have a one interview every day. Okay, so that's how. This is a very good. I'm telling you guys, you have to understand the seriousness why GCP only. Okay, I've been telling this from the last 1.5 year. Only I think I remember almost from the course 600 people got utilized this course and able to easily transition from the non-IT, IT, testing background and database background. Sir, I'm a skill developer. I wanted to enter into the data engineering. Sir, I'm a Power BI developer. I wanted to enter into the data engineering. Sir, I'm a B pharmacy candidate. Sir, I'm a call center guy. So anyone, whoever you are, I'm telling you, it is possible with the course because you have a very good demand. The moment there's a good demand, you have a proper education and documents, you should be able to get the job easily. Okay, so that's all. The next thing is about, so you can able to see the growth market. Growth. See, in the last quarter, this is to last quarter, 54% of the GCP growth. That means the company started using the GCP even more than the growth, even more than AWS and Azure also. 54%. It is more than Azure and AWS. So that's how there is a, and I'm going to tell you guys in the next 2 years, in the next 1.5 year span, plenty of the GCP data engineer jobs will be there. After 2 years, again, it gets saturated. You will be having plenty of the jobs, but the problem is all the jobs are already taken care by the most of the companies. Getting the job at this point of time is very simple, very easy with the course. I'm telling you. You should be spending your time and effort properly. Understand the real-time things, real-time pipelines, real-time use cases. That is what we are going to do. So there's a huge demand for the GCP data engineers. That's what I'm telling you. So you can also see it here from this one. I have taken this picture from the Google only. So this is a growth rate for the GCP even more than the AWS and Azure also. Cloud basics. So now I would like to talk about the course curriculum. To talk about the course curriculum, I would like to give you 1 or 2 minutes of time for some of the people. If they wanted to have any questions, you can ask me, guys. I'll give you time. Okay, just wanted to please raise your hand if anyone have any questions. I would like to go to each and every person, right? So then we can see if anyone have any questions related to the Google Cloud Platform, GCP and data engineering strictly. If anyone have any questions related to the this one, you please ask me. All other questions related to the course content, I will talk about the course content in few minutes. If anyone have any questions related to the GCP, what is Google Cloud Platform, sir? What is data engineering, sir? Such a kind of a related questions, if you have it, you can ask me. 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Yeah. Okay. Please raise your hand. I'm coming. I'm coming to you guys. Yes, Najir. You have any question? Mhm. Correct. Correct. So this, I'm telling you, this is more of data engineering. Okay. So data engineering application deployment, data engineering applications building, only related to the data engineering, not for the, the front end applications. I'm telling you. Okay. I just don't wanted to give you something. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Correct. Again, I got your question, but this is not for the application deploying, application building. So this is not the course for it. This is a course for the data engineering. Okay, here we are going to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, visualize the data, monitor the data, and manage the data. All about the data and create the data pipelines. So all about the data only. Okay, there isn't anything like we create an application, we deploy the application. Nothing is there here. Creating the environment for data processing, yes. Not for the application. Not for the application. No, not for the applications, but for the environment. For example, if I wanted to do the data processing, I would need to create the cluster. So that is for the data engineering activity. And workflow orchestration service, that is Airflow. Again, we create an environment. Cloud SQL, again, there is a database instance creation. Cloud storage, bucket creation. BigQuery, dataset creation. So all of these things related to the data only. Okay, not for the applications. Again, I'm telling you. So application creating, application deployment, application handling is everything taken care by the DevOps engineers or a infrastructure team. That is different course. Okay, altogether. Yeah. Okay. No, strictly this course is for the GCP data engineers. Yeah. No. I have my course because I'm expecting. How I'm telling you is because I was teaching also the GCP DevOps. In that, I was telling you about If you want, I could give you some help. Okay, sir, I want, in addition to this course, I would like to need some of a few 2 to 3 use cases for application deployment for the compute engines or the containers or some other help related to the app engines. Such kind of information, if you're looking at, I could help you. Okay, in addition to this course. But if your focus is totally towards that application deployment, I think I'm not, this course is not for you. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, because I also teach GCP DevOps and I usually talk about all of these application deployments and all of those things. That's a separate course. Yeah. Yes. Hey, Malata, you have any question?
So that the pipeline and everything we are doing in
Of course.
GCP itself, right?
Correct.
Do we need to know
Everything we are
about
going to. Yes. Yes. I'll tell
Python
you.
or
Oh,
PySpark?
correct. I'm going to, so this is where the problem is, guys. If I don't tell you the course content, so what we are going to cover, sir, what language that we are going to cover, we never know it. So that's the reason. The best thing about, I have two questions. Sir, how we are going to create the pipelines? One is, the second question is that, sir, how the AWS and Azure and GCP in terms of the market or in terms of how it is different, one of the question. I'm going to answer these two questions given me the time. If you give me the time, I'll try to talk about the course current content in a very detailed manner, and after that we will come to this one and try to see all of these things, if that works. Can you guys say yes or no? Okay, I hear that
Yes.
yes. Okay, so let us try to see it, guys. So let's look at the course curriculum so that you get a very good confidence that, sir, what we are going to cover. Okay, sir, I have decided, or I have designed my course into 2 chapters. Sir, think that this course is your life. If you are planning to become a GCP data engineer, this is your life turning point. So this course, I've been teaching it from the last 1.5 years. I have designed in such a way that whoever is attending the course, if you're putting an effort, for sure you get to that job. That's what. And one more thing, my course is not designed for getting the job. Getting the job is a simple activity with the course. Our main agenda with the course is that you should be able to work comfortably in the company. This is main reason. So that's the reason I have put lot of industry code. So whatever the code that we are going to develop in the company, we are going to work similarly, guys. So we are going to create an industry standard code, industry standard pipelines with all the logging, monitoring, error handling, everything that we are going to cover. I wanted to make yourself, if you get a job, you should be able to work comfortably. That is the main aim of this course. Getting the job is very simple because you have a plenty of the companies looking for plenty of the opportunities for the GCP data engineers. There's a huge demand. But the main thing is that you should not lose your job if you don't have the knowledge. So that's the reason I am focusing on all the real-time aspects, real-time standard code, real-time activities, so that you guys get very good knowledge. So that's the reason I have designed my course in 2 aspects. The course content I have designed into 2 aspects. One is cloud basics. So we understand the GCP basics first. Next, GCP data engineering tools. The course content is divided into 2 things. First, cloud basics. What are the things that we are going to see? In the cloud basics, I would like to talk about the cloud overview. So why we need the cloud platform is our topic tomorrow. Why we need the cloud platform? What is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud platforms? So that is what we are going to see. It's a very, very beautiful topic tomorrow that I'm going to talk about it. I'm telling you guys. So even though whether you wanted to join this course or not, it's okay. But I suggest you to join the session tomorrow. I suggest you to attend the session tomorrow. Okay, it's because you're going to get a very good knowledge of what is the difference between the on-premises working culture or the cloud computing culture. We never worked on the on-premises culture, right? So I wanted to tell you the challenges that the people were facing for the traditional working culture with the cloud culture that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And what is GCP? GCP introduction, why we learn GCP, the opportunities and certifications, all of these things again I'm going to tell you tomorrow, guys. Interfaces. If one wanted to work with a Google Cloud platform, you need to have a multiple interfaces knowledge. That is like what is console, what is Cloud Shell, what is Cloud SDK, and all of these things we are going to see in a very detail. What is console? How do we work with console? What is Cloud Shell? How do we work with Cloud Shell? What is SDK? How do we work with SDK? Sir, while learning the Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK, we need to know the commands. Sir, how do we learn it? About the basic Linux commands also, I will talk about it. And console walkthrough. I would like to tell you how do we create a free tier account in the GCP. So nothing is you don't have to do anything, guys. Here I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP for 90 days validity with only 2 rupees. You need to pay just 2 rupees for the next 90 days. They are providing you the $300 in credit. They are providing you the $300 in credit for the next 90 days. I will tell you how do we create a free tier account in the GCP in the next few sessions. All our pipelines, all our storage systems, clusters, environments, we are going to create here. We are going to process here. We are going to develop everything in the GCP only. And we have a free trial account for $300 for the next 90 days as validity. For doing that, you need to have a credit card for 2 rupees only. That is more than enough. I will tell you how do we do that in the next session. And then I will tell you what is project and how do we set up the project in the Google Cloud platform, and how do we enable the billing, how do we enable the APIs also we will see. So in the console walkthrough, I'll tell you how do we create a free tier account, what is project and setup, and how do we enable the billing and API, billing management, all of those details we are going to see. Next, GCP locations. And whenever we wanted to deploy or whenever we wanted to create one application, one service, whenever we wanted to create one service or one bucket, one resource in the GCP, we must select the locations such as what is region, what is zone, what is selection criteria, what is importance. All of these things we are going to see. Okay. And next, for security purpose and access control purpose, we have a IAM and admin, very important topic. We must know what are identities, what are roles, what is policy, what is resource hierarchy. So these are the cloud basics, everyone. Sorry. These are the cloud basics that we are going to see. First thing is cloud overview. What is Google Cloud Platform, GCP interfaces, GCP console walkthrough, GCP locations, GCP IAM and admin. So these are the cloud basics. Everyone must focus on the cloud basics so that the Google Cloud Platform, because let me show you the interface for the GCP. So if one wanted to go to the Google Cloud Platform, you have to go to the console.cloud.google Cloud Platform, guys. So this is how the interface looks like. This is how the interface looks like. You see here, I'm using the free trial only. This is one of the person's account. So I'm using the free trial only, you can see. So how much they are going to credit? $300 is nothing but almost 25,000 free credits. 20,000, 25,000 rupees they are going to credit to you, so you can use it for the next 90 days. Beautiful, right? So we can able to practice everything for next 90 days. Even after the course also you can able to practice. Okay, so that's how. And this, if you go to the solutions, all products, we'll be having all the products here. So almost 4,500 products are there in the marketplace. You can see management services, compute, storage, analytics, and all of these things, right? So this is how. And we will see how do we set up the project, what is GCP locations, look, IAM and admin. All of these topics we are going to see it one by one. Once the cloud basics are completed, we are going to enter into the data engineering services. In the data engineering services, we are going to start with, sir, data is categorized into 3 things. One is unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. To work with unstructured data, we have a GCS, Google Cloud Storage. Semi-structured data, we have a big table. Structured OLTP, we have a Cloud SQL. Structured OLAP, we have a BigQuery. So total 4 services related to the data, storage and database services we are covering. GCS, big table, Cloud SQL, BigQuery. Big table is for your knowledge. We are not going to work on it because Very rarely we work on the big table. But all the things about the GCS, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, we are going to full-fledgedly see. Okay, so here we are covering the 4 services. Okay, how do we work with the GCS? What are the things? I'm going to talk about each and everything. The course content also I'll show you guys. This is a diagram just I wanted to show you. Here to work with unstructured data in the Google Cloud Platform, you have a GCS, semi-structured data big table. Structured OLTP Cloud SQL we are covering. OLAP we are covering the BigQuery. 4 services here. Next, for creating the data processing pipelines, data pipelines. For someone, if one wanted to create a Spark and Hadoop pipelines, they can go to the Dataproc. We are covering the one of the service called Dataproc. Here we are going to learn about the Spark with Python, nothing but PySpark. Beam pipelines. Here we are going to learn about the Beam with Python, Apache Beam with Python in the data flow. The second service for the data pipeline creation is the Dataproc and Dataflow. Code-free environment. We have a data fusion also. Without writing the code also, we can do the data processing. And workflow orchestration tool, we are going to cover about the Airflow, or nothing but a composer. And one more thing, recently we have added a Lakehouse platform, that is Big Databricks. Okay, so Databricks I have recently added, guys. We are going to cover almost a week, nothing but 7 to 8 hours. We are going to cover the Databricks also. This is recently added from the last 2 batches. So Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion, Databricks, Cloud Composer, total 5 services related to the data pipelines. Data processing and data pipelines. The next thing, streaming data ingestion, PubSub. Event-based solution, Cloud Functions. Infrastructure provisioning, Terraform. Okay, PubSub, 1, 2, Terraform 3. Here we are going to cover 3 topics, 3 services. 4, 4, 3. And in addition to this one, we are also covering the Linux basics, Python crash course, PySpark, Apache Beam. All of these things also we are covering, guys. In addition to the course, I am telling you, whenever there's a requirement of learning about the Linux, I will talk about the Linux. For data pipelines, whenever we are creating the data pipelines, mostly it is Python. I want all of my people to know about the Python, so I am covering the Python also. And then I will be covering the PySpark. Every data engineer must and should have a knowledge on the PySpark. And Apache Beam is one of the important service for the data flow, that is Google Cloud Platform, in the Google Cloud Platform. So all of these things, these are complementary. Linux, Python crash course, PySpark concepts and Beam concepts. All of these things we are covering. So this is all about the course content, guys. Okay, let me gonna show you how our material looks like. If one wanted to look at the course curriculum, I will share this material with you guys later. But once you have enrolled for the course, and this material will have everything. So the course content here, this is a PDF. If one wanted to see it, they can also see it. Sorry. So here we have everything, the detailed course curriculum. So introduction, console, locations, Linux, Python, and see cloud storage, cloud SQL, BigQuery, all of the concepts are here. Whatever we are going to cover, each and everything. Instead of me going there, I'll try to show it here. For example, cloud basics. In the cloud basics, as I told you guys. So GCP introduction. What is GCP? GCP interfaces, console, Cloud Shell, and Cloud SDK. And how do we work with these things? Console walkthrough. In the console walkthrough, how do we create a free trial account, project setup, all of these things. GCP locations. What is region, what is zone, selection criteria, and importance. And GCP IAM and admin. Okay, what is principles, roles, policies, resource hierarchy, what is service account, and why it is needed, how do we create it. GCP account creation, a video I have created for creating a free tier account, I'll tell you later. So we need to work with SDK also. What is SDK? How do we install the SDK? The Linux basics. Next, these are all cloud basics, right? Once a cloud basics is covered, we are going to enter into the Google Cloud Storage, one of our first service for the data engineering. What is Google Cloud Storage? How do we work with Google Cloud Storage? By creating a bucket. While creating the bucket, what are the properties we have to give? From the console way of creating it, and Cloud Shell, how do we create a bucket using the Cloud Shell also? And you have an assignment also. Similarly, what is Cloud SQL? And the hierarchy, the simple architecture, how do we connect it to the Cloud SQL from the multiple applications such as Workbench or Cloud Shell or the Cloud SQL Studio. And here we are covering the database migration process. So here we are covering the database migration project, guys. So you have a database migration project. From the traditional MySQL to the Cloud SQL MySQL, how do we do the database migration project? All the phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, all of these things we are going to have it. That is, we are going to see a real-time database migration project. And sample data for your practice, and you have an assignment also again. Again, what is BigQuery? BigQuery's architecture, the BigQuery's limitations, BigQuery's working hierarchy, different ways of creating the tables in the BigQuery from the console, editor, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK, ETL services, all of those things we are going to see. And what is native table, what is external table, what is partitioning, what is clustering, working with arrays, one of the complex topic that is working with arrays in the BigQuery. So we are going to make it very simple for you guys, working with arrays. Nested fields and repeated fields. Assignment 1 for you. All the tables and questions and the answers also you have it here. Case study 1, Spotify case study. And medallion architecture, we are going to see it in this particular case study, Spotify. Case study 2 is for your assignment. Social media case study, all the questions and answers are available already. BigQuery views. Okay, we have a BQ views also. What is view, logical view, materialized view, authorized view? So that's where we are going to end up the BigQuery. And then next we are going to start with Python. In Python crash course, we are going to see about the data types such as strings, numbers, and booleans and none type. Okay, that's fine. Keep it like that. And data structures such as list, tuple, dictionary set. Python programming constructions, chapter 3, if and else statements, for loops and while loops, exceptional handling, file input output operations, and functions and classes, basics of classes. All of these topics we are going to cover in the Python. And once the Python is covered, that's where we are going to enter into the data pipeline creations using the Hadoop. What is Hadoop? How the era of the Hadoop and Spark. And why the Spark came into the picture. How the Hadoop came into the picture. How the Spark came into the picture. What is the difference between the Hadoop and Spark? And what is Dataproc? And how the Dataproc is different from the Hadoop and Spark. Why Dataproc is significant? How do we create the cluster in the Dataproc? And what are the pipelines that we are going to create? Spark architecture, Spark framework. Creating the cluster in the Dataproc, lab sessions. Extracting the data from the multiple data sources, loading the data. So these are all Jupyter notebooks only. So introduction, extract, loading, transforming, Spark SQL, SCD, job 1, job 2, job 1. And you can see you have the sample data sets. Case study 1. This is one of the case study which people can be used for putting it into their resume also. This is one of the very important case study. Assignment, you have it. Assignment 2, assignment 3, end-to-end pipeline, end-to-end batch pipeline, and finally case study 2 again. So look at here, guys. Data validation, data transformations, logging and monitoring, error handling, all of exceptional handling will also. So all of these things we are going to put it in our, this is going to be the industry standard code we are going to see. Okay, so all the things we are going to cover here. Okay, so use cases. So you have already the code available, everything is available to you. Okay, then after the data flow, what is data flow? How it is different from the Dataproc? How do we create a workbench? Lab sessions for that. Introduction, extract, transform, and load. So sample data sets, use case 1, assignment 1, what is windowing, template method of creating the pipelines, end-to-end streaming pipeline also. We have an end-to-end streaming pipeline. In this pipeline, again, you see here, almost all the activities we are going to see. An architecture for the end-to-end. So such kind of things, you can put it in your resume. You can explain it in your interview also. So that's how people can able to easily understand that this guy has really worked on the company, on the real-time projects. PubSub. What is PubSub? How it works, use cases, and architecture. What is Airflow? Workflow orchestration. What is workflow orchestration? What is Airflow? Airflow architecture. What is DAG? How do we create the DAG? Cron job format. How do we create the composed environment? Level 1 DAG, one of the use case. Level 2 DAG use case, level 3 DAG, level 4 DAG, level 5 DAG is for the assignment. And we are going to implement a simple CI/CD with the help of the Airflow here. So in this one, using the GitHub, Cloud Build, and Airflow, I'm going to create a simple CI/CD. This is for your knowledge only. You are not going to create such kind of things. This is for your knowledge. You need to have a knowledge on the CI/CD also. For that one, we are going to do it. Okay, so that's also there. Data fusion. What is data fusion? End-to-end pipeline creation for the data fusion. What is cloud functions? Use case 1, use case 2. Databricks. What is Databricks? What is Lakehouse? How the Lakehouse is different from the data warehouse and as well as data lake? Why the Lakehouse is required? And architecture. Setting up a Databricks workspace on the Google Cloud platform. What is Unity Catalog? What are clusters? Notebooks, DB utility commands, delta tables, datasets, structured streaming, autoloader, Medallion architecture, end-to-end workflow. Here we are going to create an end-to-end workflow using the Databricks. All the jobs, notebooks, and everything, we are going to orchestrate it. We are going to schedule it with the help of the workflows. That's also we are going to see. And I have a repository for your all of these activities. We have a repository also. And that's how. And as a complementary, I'm providing you end-to-end pipeline project, Terraform, and SQL versus Spanner difference, Bigtable, GitHub, and all of these things. So all these things we are going to provide you as a complementary. Okay, so this is all about it, guys. So this is all course content with the detailed, all the topics that we are going to cover. Okay. And in addition to this one, I am providing you for those people who wanted to go for the interview. Sir, I would like to create a resume. I did not know how do we create a resume. Sir, can you tell me? Here I have attached a few of the resumes. Once you have the access to the notes, you should be having an access to this one also. Resumes. Sir, how? Sir, I do not know how I can able to explain my project. How to convey the introduction in a better fashion. So for those people who wanted to get focus on the interviews and get the job, we have made it even more easy for you. So here, introduction, project 1 explanation. How do you explain the project? How do you explain the project? 2 explanation and their architecture also. It is like this one. If you go for an interview, right? So I'm working on a BigQuery Lake project where we get the data from the multiple data sources such as SQL Server, MySQL, and sometimes CSV, JSON, Parquet. We extract the data from that. So this is written in such a way that you can able to just read it in the interview also, so that this is how it works as a project 1 explanation and project 2 explanation. Okay, the same thing you can tell in the interview. And data engineering theoretical questions for each topic wise. Theoretical questions, topic wise. These are the questions from the interviews only. I'm telling you again. These are the questions from the interviews only. SQL coding questions. SQL coding questions. These are the questions. I keep on add these questions, guys. So these are the questions from the interview again. Okay. So before you going to the interview, I suggest you to go and read all of these questions and try to PySpark questions. all the PySpark questions, Python questions, sorry, and PySpark questions also. You have it here. For those who wanted to go for the certification also, we have a certification dumps available. Those who wanted to go for the certification, Associate Cloud Engineer certification, Professional Data Engineer certification, all of these things are here. Okay, so this is how one can able to have all of this information once you have the access to the notes. So this is how. And coming to the course details. So course duration is of 50 hours, 2.5 months it will take. Timings daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. Delivery online live sessions only. Add-ons. So we will be providing you the video recordings also every day, daily basis. The video recording will be available. If you miss the class also, you'll be having a video recording. Comprehensive material. Just now I have shown you the comprehensive material also. Assignments. Each and every topic has its own assignments. Real-time projects and case studies. Use cases I have told you just now, right? Interview questions we are providing. Certification dumps we are providing. Resumes also I am providing. So this is all course details. The course timings. 7:30 to 8:30 every day. Course timings is same guys, 7:30 to 8:30 every day. The same time. So duration of 50 hours, nothing but 2.5 months. You can remember. Timings daily 1 hour for Monday to Friday. Delivery live online live sessions only. Video recordings are provided. Comprehensive material is provided. Assignments, case studies, projects, interview questions, certification dumps, and resumes. All of these things are provided to you guys. And the prerequisite for the course, we are expecting our candidates to have a basic knowledge on the SQL. Basic knowledge on the SQL is a prerequisite for the course. And if you do not have it, still you wanted to enter into this course, maybe in our next sessions, I'll tell you how you can able to attain the SQL knowledge also. Okay, how do you attain the SQL knowledge also? I'll tell you. Okay, basics is prerequisite for the course. You can able to sit for like 2 to 3 days. You should be able to learn the basics of SQL. Okay, so that is the basic SQL that we are expecting. That is the prerequisite for the course. All other things such as Python, PySpark, Apache Beam, Linux, everything is covered in the course. Don't worry about it. This course is a comprehensive course, including everything we are covering here. The target audience for the course. Whoever you are you struggling to secure a dream job? For example, sir, I working in some area. I wanted to secure my dream job. Or sir, in a area, I got struck up in my current role. In the current role, I do not know how do I come out of it. My package is not enough for me. And I would not know if I go for my current role, I'm not getting the offers. So if you think like that, if you wanted to come out of it, again, this is a target audience. And if you are looking for a demanding career, high demanding career, fast growing, if you wanted to have it, data engineering is one of the highly paid job. I'm telling you guys, it is one of the highly paid job. And seeking for a company switch with a rewarding pay hike, non-IT but eager to break into the IT tech world, and testing's mainframe support role. Whoever you are, whether you are working on a testing, mainframe support, mechanical production, wherever you are, whether you wanted to come to the IT and you wanted to get a high demanding career with a high pay, in that case, this is a course for you guys. So all the things I have tried to mention, and this is it for the session today, guys. If anyone have any questions related to the course, okay, I have 2 questions, right? So let me try to answer it. So one of the guy was asking me, sir, how do we create the data pipelines? To create the data pipelines, we need to have a knowledge on the Python and all of those things. In the course we are covering, yes or no? I think this is covered, right? I think we are clear on that. Yes. And about the, sir, sir, AWS is having a very good market and Azure also having a very good market. Sir, why I should join GCP then AWS and Azure? I'll tell you. Okay. Why GCP only, sir? Why not AWS and Azure? One of the question some of the people were asking, right? Why not Azure and GCP? I'll try to answer it. Okay. So for answering that, 1 minute. Okay. Look at here, guys. So assume that there's a course there's a course. So there's a course that is AWS and Azure. I'll talk about this one for next 1 or 2 minutes. And there's a course for GCP. So let us take 2 persons, guys. Let us take person 1. So there's a person 1 and there's a person 2. What this person 1 has done is that, so he has a good knowledge on that there are multiple cloud platforms are there, and he got to know that Azure and AWS is one of the leading cloud providers. So what he thought is that he went and he attended a course for the AWS. And this guy who trusted me and who attended the course called a GCP. So what happens for these two folks? Let us try to understand. What happens for these two folks? Let us try to understand. So there are 2 persons. One is who is attending because they know that he got an idea that AWS and Azure having a good market. So that's the reason he went for the AWS course and he learned the course. Okay, he learned the course. Once after learning the course, what is the next thing, guys? Tell me. Once after learning the course, what is the next thing? Right. Yes. So for getting the job, he is appearing for the interviews. Tell me, if I go to the interview, this person 1 competing with whom? Can anyone tell me? This guy is competing with whom? Person 1 competing with whom for getting this job?
Lots of
This
people.
guy is actually competing with those professionals because it is a wide market is there. That means people already have 3 to 4 to 5 years before itself. They already learned about the AWS data engineering or Azure data engineering. And again, they wanted to switch the companies. That means you are competing with these folks who are already professional real-time experience. Right? You are competing with the professionals. Tell me, when you compare with the professionals who is having a real-time experience, getting the job is easy or not? Can I say it is difficult to get the job? Because when you have a huge market, there are plenty of the opportunities are there. I understand. Plenty of the opportunities are there. But more than the opportunities, there is a very, very, very good competition will be there. Competing with the real-time folks is very much difficult to get the job. So this is what happens. So this guy understand the market, but try to attend the course, but he couldn't able to get the job because he always competing with the professionals. Getting the job is little bit difficult for him. But on the other hand, this guy attended the GCP course and he completed the course and now he is appearing for the interviews. Tell me, GCP is new. Some of the interviewers itself does not know about the GCP much. They know about 1 or 2 services only about the GCP. The interviewer who is asking the question to you itself, he will be having knowledge on 1 or 2 services only. But in this course, we are covering 15 services with all the industry ready code, all the use cases, all the things, so that you are going to get a very good knowledge. Even the interviewer will be having a limited knowledge on that. So this guy, if he goes for the interview, can you tell me whom he is competing with? Can you tell me, guys, whom he competing with? He is competing with the folks who are attending the course like you, right? Those are the persons who is learning the course like you. Whoever is learning the course, he is competing with them only. Tell me, getting the job is difficulty or not? It's easy to get the job. And one more thing is that No one knows about the GCP. Everyone focuses on the AWS and Azure, and everyone learns that course. And there's no person, but there's a very huge demand for this one. There's a very huge demand for the GCP data engineer because there are no skilled persons available. So, and one more reason to get the job easy is that, one more reason to get the job easily is that you have a very huge demand. You have a very huge demand. The opportunities are more, the persons are less. So that's what happens. So the manpower for the GCP is very less. The manpower for the AWS and Azure is very high. Okay, so that's what. Everyone understands the market, they learn the AWS and Azure. And after 3 months, they couldn't able to get the job again. They come to my course. That's what happened many scenarios. That's what happened. Again, these guys will come to the GCP course and they're able to get the job within 2 or 3 months itself. Because there is a very huge demand. Demand is in such a way that the opportunities are more, the persons are less, the candidates are less. So that's the reason getting the job is easy here. And you are competing with whom? Like you. So here we have 10 persons. You are competing with yourself only here. These other seven folks are 10 folks. Here I have almost 10 plus 7 plus 12, almost 40 persons are there. So you are competing with yourself only here. All of these 40 persons are competing with these 40 persons only. That's what happens here. And there can be a professionals also only having 1 year experience. 1 year experience is having a very less experience or very less knowledge compared to you. If I say a 1 year real-time GCP data engineer, 1 year real-time JSP data engineer knowledge, if I try to check it, and the person who is completing my course in within 3 months, right? Who is more knowledgeable? If you ask me, my course guy is more knowledgeable than this guy. I'll say that my course is giving you more knowledge than this guy, because this 1 year guy may be working on 1 or 2 services only, not into in-depth. He cannot be able to perform well in the interview also. This is what happened many scenarios. And these guys again attending my course. Okay, I'm telling you guys, this is what. So we are the ones, I am the one who started the GCP data engineering from last 1.5 years. At that point of time, very, I see that 1 or 2 people only were teaching GCP data engineers. Almost no one throughout the world. No one knows about the GCP data engineering 1.5 years before. Okay, so we started it and we've been doing the same thing. Almost 40 plus batches we have ran so far. 40 to 50 batches we have ran so far. And every batch for sure we are seeing people getting placed with a very decent hike. There are few people who are getting 4 to 5 offer letters also. One of the minimum people are getting 1 offer letter, and there are persons who are, I told them to get 2 offer letters, because it's whenever you get more offer letters, the package will be more. So that is always focus on that. So this is what happens. So a simple answer for that one is, you can go for AWS and Azure, and again you come back to my course to get the job. For knowledge sake, if you wanted to go for AWS and Azure, I suggest you to go it. But if you wanted to get the job, come to my course. That's what happens. That is what is, I'm not just saying, this is what happened already. We have seen people, sir, I have learned AWS and Azure. I spent almost 5 months, I couldn't able to get the job. Sir, is this course? Yes. And those guys were able to get it easily with the course, because we are covering everything. We are covering all the real-time things, and you have a demand for it. Don't trust me. Just prepare a resume, a dummy resume for GCP data engineer. Upload it to your upload it to the Naukri or LinkedIn. Wait for 2 days. If you get the calls, attend the course. If you don't get the calls, don't attend the course. Just prepare a dummy resume. Just put BigQuery here, there, and Dataproc, Dataflow. Just 4 to 5 services which I mentioned, right? Just put it there in the resume. Create a dummy resume. Put it in the Naukri. If you're getting the calls, then attend this course. If you're not getting the calls, don't attend. Okay, so that is what I would say, because there's a huge demand, I'm telling you. So this is what is. Yes, I would like to give you time for you guys. Now tell me if anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. We have here almost 40 persons are there. Okay, I just wanted to know that. Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Yes, Dhruv, you have any question, Dhruv? I'm gonna mention the question also here, guys. So yeah, Dhruv, you have any question? Yes, please. I'm telling you, prior to this one, as a prerequisite, you will learn the basics of the knowledge on the SQL. All other things required for you to do the development for the SQL development, Python development, PySpark development, Apache Beam development, I'm going to teach. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. So because we are expecting SQL to be the prerequisite, let come with a SQL basics, all other development knowledge, all the development skills we are going to teach. I'm going to teach for the SQL, Python, PySpark, and Apache Beam. Okay, all of these things are covered. Okay, yeah. The next question should be, yeah, anyone have any other question? Please raise your hand, everyone. Anyone have any question? You can able to raise your hand. We use Python only. Python, PySpark, and Apache Beam. All of these things. So in Databricks, we use Python, PySpark. In the data flow, we are going to use Apache Beam. Okay, for sure, Python everywhere. In the Beam also, we use Python only. Okay, Python everywhere for creating the pipelines, guys. So, yeah. So these are 1 minute. I'll tell you this thing. These are the programming. SQL and Python are programming. So these are big data frameworks. These are the big data frameworks to process the big data. So this is something that I want you guys to understand. Okay, these are the programming, SQL and the Python. Okay, SQL is a database language, but still I'm considering it as a programming language only. So programming, SQL and Python we are covering. And frameworks, PySpark we are covering. SQL basics is very much important for the course. Okay, yeah. Yes, please. Okay. So is it GCP is demand in USA, guys? Yes, yes. We have candidates from the USA also. There's a huge demand for the people in the USA also. Yes. Yes. Any other questions? Anyone? Please raise your hand if anyone have any question, personal question also, sir. Yes, sir. I am coming from this background. Does this role or does this course makes sense for my role or not? If you have any such kind of a questions also, you can ask me, guys. Yes, yes, Hema. Sorry, Hema.
Sir, you told about the programming and frameworks. No, what is the difference?
We will see it. We will see it
Okay,
in our
okay.
upcoming sessions. But the thing is that you try to understand programming language is Python, but using the Python, how do we process a huge amount of data? See, I can able to write some Python code to process a sample data. But if I wanted to work with a huge amount of data, we need some kind of a framework. So that's kind of a huge amount of things. If you wanted to process it, analyze it, that's where the frameworks are created for. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, one of the guy was asking question. Who is that? Sorry. Hello. Yeah, who is this? Yes, yes, Badri. You have any question? Yes, please. Good morning. For assisting, right? You will be having a group created, and in that group, you will be that is a channel, including me. Everyone in this particular batch will be there. Whenever you have any question, you can always put it in the question. Whenever you wanted to speak with me, always connect with an admin. They will connect with me so that we can talk. Okay. Yeah. So whenever anyone have any questions related to their personal roles or personal questions they have it, you can always connect with an admin. Admin will call me and we can have a conference call. We can talk each other. So that is possible, guys. I can't share my number, but we can have a conference call always with an admin. Okay. Yep. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Yes. Yes, please. No, this is data engineering. This is totally data. Nope. Now all the topics are data engineering only. Okay, totally. Okay, totally different from the networking. Networking is different, data engineering is different. Okay, yeah. But if you are anyone, if you are a network engineer or a support engineer, sir, I'm an admin, sir, I wanted to enter into the demanding field, in that case, this is a course for you guys. Okay, yeah. Okay. So Akshay, if you are looking for a flexible time, so this time works for you, I hope, the 7:30 to 8:30, and we have an evening batch also. You can connect with an admin, and that evening batch is in the middle, guys. Okay, so we have an evening batch also, but that evening batch is in the middle, but it takes again 2 more months to start. So if one wanted to attend this course for next 1 month, if you are planning it, this is a course, this is the right time for you to start. Okay, if you wanted to wait for evening batch, it takes 2 months to start. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, I think, I hope I have given you a good. Yes, please. Yes, 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 please. Okay. Okay. So anything is fine. I'm telling you, as long as you wanted to get the job, all of these things will give you the job. But for AWS and Azure, there's a demand. There's a huge competition. You have a demand, huge competition also there. But for GCP, you have a demand, but less competition. Getting the job is easy. Any course is fine for you. I suggest you to go for AWS, Azure, and GCP. Anything is fine. But having said that, if your focus is to get the job, I suggest you to go for the GCP. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, this is it for today, and we are going to have a second session, that is tomorrow, guys, regarding to the. We are going to start our actual topic from tomorrow, guys. That is why we need the cloud platform and how it is different from it. So we are going to have a beautiful class tomorrow regarding the that one. If you wanted to see it, I would like to show you guys. This is what we are going to see. So an end-to-end, how an application will be started, and how a business analyst, solution architect, data center, procurement team, vendors team, infrastructure team, all of these people, how they are interlinked, what are the challenges of working with the traditional methodology, how cloud platforms came into the picture, we are going to see it. That is what is our tomorrow's session, and we are going to see it. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session, guys. Okay. Chalo, we will meet tomorrow at the same time, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thanks for attending the session. We have a 2 demos tomorrow and after tomorrow. Please attend. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.